Past attempts to address the above have had some success, but the burgeoning concerns warrant a different approach based on a collective community skilled group assessing whānau in their homes and engaging with them positively. I want to stop there. No, we'll go on. I'll come back. The internal fix-it strategy has been successful in places, but requires extension. More importantly, it requires relevant, intensive training, because getting into people's homes is not a piece of cake. Gaining access to whānau homes is the key, but it's not easy. As already stated, many organisations, both private and public, have genuinely endeavoured to turn whānau around. In general, this is done by dealing with individual whānau members outside the home. They're referred here, there and everywhere. So while we're dealing with individuals, who's dealing with the potential of that whānau? Who is doing it? All we do is deal with this individual back into the same situation, boom, boom, boom. The majority of services provide support and guidance to many whānau who either seek assistance of their own volition or who are referred. Of concern, however, the great number in their homes who miss out, and this happens for various reasons. It is in this regard that a different approach is proposed and a different mindset established. The practice of targeting whānau on the negative front usually results in the services being targeted. Working differently with whānau is not about ignoring the various issues that prevail, not about ignoring the serious issues that prevail, but rather about focusing on, as I say, dignity, hope, purpose, for example, as a pathway towards cooperation, responsibility and well-being. Therefore, as already stated, a positive endorsement of whānau and a harnessing of their potential can make a difference. This has been proven in some instances and can be extended. I want to tell a story here quickly because there's thousands of stories and you've got them too. 1972, when I arrived in Wellington, young and beautiful and exciting. I was called by the Minister of Maori Affairs, being Couch at the time. A woman in part of Wellington had nailed 4x2s over her windows and her door. She had 3 haemophiliac children, teenagers inside. Her husband had taken off with someone else. She had no money. She had, little she had was down at the hotel, and so she became the target of all these services. In came social welfare, in came the police, in came somewhere else, to the point where she nailed her house up 4x2s. So I got the short straw to go, and only just arrived in Wellington. I get up there, and I was cursed and abused in a way that's never happened before or since, telling me to take the car and da-da-da. And I said, open the door. A Maori woman. And, you know, I've come from a tribe where the door opens and they give you a cup of tea. I said, open the door, come. Well, she just hurled this abuse. So I sat there. From 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, she kept coming out. I even tried saying, can I use your toilet? But that didn't work either. And in the end, by 2 o'clock, I said to her, listen, the police are coming at 4 o'clock to break into your home. I don't want them to come, and I'm sure you don't. Open the door, dear. Let's have a talk. So she gets the hammer on, she grabs me, pulls me in, and says, you've got effing 2 minutes and get. And I said to her, why are you so angry? And she said, you are the 9th agency that's been here in the last few weeks. She said, so if you people think you can do it, there's my kids, take them. And the house was Spartan, it was awful. I said, I haven't come to take your children. I've come here to talk with you today. I just tell that story because there's much more to it, because the Maori Women's Welfare League and everybody else came in eventually. I said, let's get the community, our people. She said, I'm too ashamed. You know what I said? We should be ashamed that you're in this position. Because, folks, if it takes 9 different agencies, all getting paid good salaries, big flash cars, full of importance, going up there, crippling that woman and pushing her into the ground to a state of despair, we have to ask questions. 1972. Sadly, I don't think we've changed too much. We've still got cars rolling up to one family because we operate in silos to our families. This one comes with this, that one comes with that, someone else. Why isn't it? Why haven't we got people who can assess the family and build a relationship with them and get in there and then get their okay to get in the support they want? No, we just put it on top of them. And so I'm really, for me, whānau ora has promise in my mind. Because, folks, we all provide a service and we should be saluted for that. But I was at another forum recently, a whole lot of people all positioning themselves, as I said. Someone stood up and said, the Kohanga Reo, that's the only organisation in the country that deals with families effectively. And I stood up and said, excuse me, we do the best we can, but we're not doing enough. And the reason for that, folks, is this. If we look at our services, we either are providing a service to those who choose to come to us or those who are referred. And I want to just make my final comment here, because one could go on, as you know. In 2001, when the Honourable Trevor Mallard was, came in as Minister of Education, I said to him at the time, I've got a concern that I think we need to talk about, and that is that I had, not just before I retired, I said, I've just got the stats, they help now and again, if they're correct, but I said that says 37,000 Maori children under the age of 5 are not in any service. 37,000, as against 20,000 that were in a service of their choice. Now, it must worry us that some people are choosing to come, many more don't. And so the Minister and I talked about our participation policy, which was screwed up by a government, by an agency that should remain nameless, because what it did is put a dollar count on the kids so that every kid that you can get, you'll get another $1. What a ghastly way of dealing with engaging and harnessing families. Because the kids are dragged by the hair, and I argued at the time and said, don't come near me with that policy, because kohanga, we want the families to come, the families to be involved, the families to take responsibility, make some decisions. So don't come near me. But anyway, I finished. Hello, last year, in front of the Select Committee, Maori Affairs, they're talking about participation, and I'm listening, and I'm thinking, what we're focusing on are those kids that are involved in a service, still about 25,000. The worry is, I get the stats, 37,000 not involved in the year 2001, 2009, 43,000. Which begs the question as to how effective are we in terms of those families. I leave it there because at the end of the day, we're all hell-bent on improving the well-being of the people of this country. Pouring money in is not the answer of itself. What it is about looking at what we're doing, how can we make a difference? Everybody is involved in that. Have we got the courage, all of us, to stand still and instead of asking for more money just as the antidote, do some thinking about the way we're doing things and what impact we have at the end of the day on families. God bless us. Kia ora.